Okay, welcome to part 3 of the demos. If you've been following along, we just got done creating a shield here that was lootable, and so now we're going to create some other items. So let's move on and let's give our player something to drink. We've got some large elkhorn wine, big stein of brew there. So we'll drop that on our table, and of course let's put our object into our working inventory just to keep it straight. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and, because it is a lootable object, we need to add a collider. So I'm just going to use a mesh collider, and I'm not going to let them put this back out into the game world, so I don't need a rigid body this time. So now that we've got our collider on there, let's go ahead and come over here and grab the lootable script and drop that on top of our wine, and now our wine will be lootable. And so there's a few settings we need to set again, and we've got the inventory item name. So instead of calling it a large elkhorn wine, this time we're going to call it a mug of elkhorn brew. Okay, and this is the name that the game players will be seeing inside the game. So whatever you want to call it, that's fine. Then you need to pick a texture, and this is what will be displayed inside of the backpack. Of course, you can import all your own textures however you want to do that. I've just got some random demo ones here, so we're going to pick the mug there and say OK, and then we need to give it the prefab spawn name, and that needs to match the name of the prefab down here. So large elk horn wine. Okay. And then we got an inventory item description, so we're going to say mug of stale elk horn brew. Will you drink it? Alright, and now moving on down, we're not going to cover these right now. We got a max stack size. So this is how many items are a maximum in a stack. So 20 is okay for us. Item quantity is 1 by default, so 1 drink isn't really enough. We're going to give them a full stack, so we'll say 20. When they pick up this item, they'll get 20 of those. And then we do want to allow inventory actions, and the item is consumable. We want to destroy pretty much all objects, otherwise they wouldn't be able to get them out of their backpack, which is a hassle. We're not going to let them drop stuff. It's not equipable. They don't need to lock it. It is stackable. It is not usable, and we don't need any lock icon settings. So for now, we're going to leave it like that. So if we start the game now, when we mouse over our drink, we should see our mug of elkhorn brew. Which a little hard to see in that little window, but there you go. Mug of elkhorn brew. And if we double click it, there it goes into our inventory, and we can drag it around. So now, because this item is stackable, you'll also get the split item, and so you can actually split these off. So like split 1 of 1, or however many you want to split off. But for now, we're going to split 1 off and set it up. So there it is. We got 1 and 19, and what we're going to do now is just restart the game. And when we open our inventory, you'll notice our drinks are still there and such. So also respawn our drink on the table. So we're going to loot 20 more, which would be 40. And so partial stack filling will go ahead and fill those 2 stacks rather than creating a new stack there. So now we have our 40 drinks, 20 there, 20 there, and we can close our inventory. We can also pick up our shield again. And so there's our shield, and you'll notice our shield has the same 4: lock, destroy, drop, equip, while we can split, destroy, and consume. So consume item is one of the special ones that you'll have to implement the code to do yourself. The event handlers are there, and you will receive the lootable object, game object, that you can work with, as well as the player inventory object. And we'll cover that in later demos, but for now, equip does nothing. It'll leave it in your inventory. You can destroy it when you're ready to get rid of it. So if we get rid of one of those, and then you can also swap items like such. So those are the basic inventory commands. Let's go ahead and we'll set up one more. Let's give them some potato bread. So if we drag a potato bread, actually, first we should stop the game. So we'll take our potato bread, we'll drag it out in the sack and put it on the table. Move it into our working inventory. Then we're going to create a mesh, a collider, whatever kind. You can use any type you like, but I just use a mesh. Mesh collider's there now, so we can detect that. We're not going to let them put it back into the thing again, so it's pretty much going to be set up the same as the large elkhorn wine. So now that we've got our collider, let's go ahead and make this lootable. Drag our script, put it on the sack of taters, and we'll come in and start to set up our inventory item stuff. So we've got a sack of moldy potato bread. Alright, and then we're going to pick a picture. There's a nice bread picture, and then we're going to pick the prefab spawn name. As again, it has to match the prefab down there, so it's a sack of potato bread. Alright, and give it a description, so moldy bread stuffed in a sack. Alright, and how many of them? We're going to give them 20 in the max size, and we'll give them 20 to start, like we did the drink. We want to allow inventory actions. This item is consumable, destroyable. We're not going to drop it, not equip it, no lock. It is stackable. It's not usable, and we don't care about these for now. So once again, we can hit start, and now we should be able to hover over and we'll see our sack of moldy potato bread, which we can now pick up and put into our inventory bag. And as we can see, we now have a sack of moldy potato bread to go with our drink, and it also is splittable, and so you can split off however many you like. So we'll take 12 of those because I'm kind of hungry, and we could consume those. So yes, and as I said, equip as in consume, and use are not hooked up. You have to hook those up yourself. So that concludes part 3 of our demo and tutorial. We'll get into styling a little bit of the player inventory in our next one, so I hope you check back, and thanks.